everyone, this is Tom from Dirk Witte Music Store in Utrecht, the Netherlands. And today we are taking a look at a really cool, kind of like a smaller Eastman acoustic, but from a very high-end line from the L-OOSS series, one that we have not yet covered here on the channel. This is the Eastman L-OOSS-QS acoustic guitar from, like I said, the L-OOSS series, and it is kind of like an double O size, kind of like an L-OO, like from Gibson, so that very like traditional classic model from way back in the day, but then made by Eastman. And this is a very fancy one, and then the QS stands for quilted sapele. So those back and sides are quilted sapele. Looks really, really pretty. And we also got this very cool sound port over here, so that you can, as the player, as you're playing it yourself, you can like get a decent enough or like a little bit of a better impression of what people are then hearing in the room, which definitely helps. I can definitely confirm that. So a really cool guitar with some very, very high-end specs, resulting in a very fantastic looking, playing and sounding Eastman acoustic guitar. So let's then dive into the specs. So we have then got an all solid wood construction. We've got a solid spruce top, which is European spruce. So that is a little bit different than like Sitka spruce. I would say that this is yeah, a little bit softer almost. We have then got a solid European spruce top, so that is quite cool to see. You normally don't find it on a whole lot of models. And then, like I said, we've got some very beautiful looking quilted sapele back and sides. And sapele is very similar to mahogany when it comes to the sound, as well as normally also the looks, but this quilty one obviously is yeah, a lot more quilted than normal mahogany, yeah, it just looks fantastic, but it also just sounds really, really great. Again, it sounds quite similar to mahogany, so you really get like a 90% match, I would say. And yeah, obviously mahogany very much versatile. You hear that on so many acoustics from all walks of life and all like eras. It is just a very, very fantastic sounding tone wood, as well as sapele then. We've then got some hand scallop X bracing underneath this top, so it just sounds really, really great. Again, got that sound port over there on the side. We've also got some very, very sweet looking binding around the, yeah, pretty much like around every edge on this guitar. So on the top we've got some very nice looking, I think it is like rosewood or maybe some like cherry wood almost binding. That is then also like paired with some thin layers of then turquoise material, as well as another kind of like a reddish looking material. Not sure if that's wood or something else, but what I do know is that it looks really, really cool. Very, very unique. Also got that then going on there on the back, as well as on the sides. But then on the back and sides, you do not get that like reddish layer. The rosette is also very, very fine looking, also made up out of wood, some sort of a wood. I don't think that it is rosewood, don't think that it is sapele, it's something else, but again also looks really, really great. Also then paired with that turquoise and that reddish material. You've then got this smaller teardrop shaped pickguard, bridge made out of ebony, bone saddle, ebony bridge pins with abalone dot inlays. You've then just got your M pin over here, so no pre-installed pickup. Mahogany neck with a traditional even C profile. Very, very nice feeling, so very medium size, not too big, not too thin, and yeah, just very nicely rounded. Ebony fingerboard with these very, very fancy looking inlays, kind of like a water-ish theme going on. And then also got that very sweet looking binding with the turquoise material. Looks really, really fancy. And then a bone nut, which is 1.68 inches, so 43 millimeters. It's kind of like Gibson style in width. And then a headstock overlay, also looking really, really nice. Also with that same type of an inlay style going on as you see on the fingerboard, as well as that very sweet looking binding that you see all over. And then we've also on the back got a diamond volute. These very sweet tuners, which are actually some, let's see, these are some open gear pingbow tuners with some very nice tips or buttons. So those are made out of ebony, what appears to be. Yeah, those are made out of ebony. So that's a very cool, cool little touch and pretty, yeah, premium. And they, yeah, just work really, really great as well, which is also very nice. And then the last thing to mention, oh, by the way, also got a very cool looking back strip. And then the last thing to mention, it also comes with a hard shell case, which we very much like to see. So you really get the full package. So really cool guitar, L-OOSS size. You don't see that all too often. Not too many brands make these size of guitars. But it is really kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like in between a parlor and a triple O. But it is not necessarily double O like a Martin double O. What I do know is that it just sounds really, really great. And it also just looks quite unique. And yeah, really cool guitar all in all. So yeah, let's then hear what it sounds like. But first, if you're interested in this brand new Eastman L-OOSS-QS acoustic guitar, be sure to head over to the links in the description for further details. If you enjoyed this demo, be sure to like the video and to subscribe to the channel for more cool weekly demos of cool acoustic guitars like these, cool electric guitars, bass guitars even, of that really cool stuff. Also be sure to like us and to follow us on our socials, Instagram and Facebook. Links are also in the description. With all that being said, let's see what this brand new Eastman L-OOSS-QS acoustic guitar from the Luthier series sounds like. Going to be playing some chords and then some fingerstyle playing so that you can get a good impression of what this very fine, kind of like a smaller Eastman acoustic guitar from the Luthier series sounds like. So let's then move on to that part and let's then take it for a spin.